Tom, thanks for joining us. The tough game's coming thick and fast with Southampton tomorrow. How do you deal with such a quick turnaround between big matches?
Yeah, it's difficult, but I've said before, we find solutions rather than excuses. We have a day less rest than them, but we have a good depth in our squad, and that might have to be utilised tomorrow.
You've had some positive results so far, and you said you've laid some small markers down, but you'd like to lay a big marker down tomorrow. How do you go about doing that?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be, first of all, very good out of possession, very disciplined. They're the best possession team in the league, and also they're very good at pressing teams as well. So you have to be really efficient with everything you do. Concentration levels at absolute maximum for 95 minutes or 100 minutes. But they do give you a chance. We don't go there without a clear game plan to win the game, not to not get beat, but to win the game. So we have belief we can do that.
This is actually the fourth time Watford have played Southampton this season. No victories yet. Does that give the players extra motivation to try and win the game tomorrow?
I've not thought about it that way, to be honest. I think we just focus on next game rather than what's happened in the past and how to win that game. So it's something I've not focused on at all. We've watched footage from those games that when we've played them earlier on in the season, but we don't take any less or extra motivation from those results.
It's been a bit of a baptism of fire for you as interim head coach, playing all these high-flying teams. How much are you enjoying the challenge of going up against these clubs and these managers?
Yeah, it's been brilliant with respect to every coach in the league. I mean, McKenna, Farker, Corberan and Martin are four of the ones outside the Premier League that have got really, really bright futures and top coaches now. So it's been personally a really nice challenge, but we know that in this league 46 games are just as difficult as each other. So just because we're playing the bigger teams, we shouldn't take the other clubs any more lightly, should I say, because this league poses different challenges, different threats, and every game's a massive challenge.
Is there any team news after Ipswich? Did the squad come through unscathed after Wednesday night?
Yeah, nothing new to report. Ken and Jeremy are becoming closer and closer, which is good news for everyone, and the plan is to have them in contention for next weekend.
Dennis was obviously rested midweek, and Giorgi came in and did well. You've got 4 centre-halves as well, all trying to get into the team. Is it nice to have those tough decisions when it comes to picking the 11? Yeah, good problems for a coach to have. I think this is the most difficult team selection I've had to make since I've been in the job. We've got one more training session now to sort of finalise our plan, and then knuckle down on a first 11 for tomorrow. Thanks, Tom.
I know when you got the job, people looked at him and thought, 34, he's young. But no one said that about the manager that we faced on Wednesday night, and no one says it about the manager we're going to face tomorrow either.
Yeah, I mean, they've gone on different journeys to get the jobs they have with a little more substance than I arrived in. But yeah, just like with players, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and I see that as in the coaching world as well. I really respect the journeys and that McKenna and Russell Martin have been on to get to where they are, and they're really, really top coaches. Been doing with their teams how they play for many years now. Russell a little bit less than Kieran at Ipswich, but Russell's style of play, he's done at Swansea, he's done at MK Dons, he's very, very well respected coach, and but I do feel like I'm ready for this role, and I feel at home in it.
With the thin squad and the number of games, would you have liked to be able to play some young players? But I understand that you can't because of perhaps the integrity of the league and the difficulty of the opposition.
Listen, I won't be giving any sort of charity debuts out. I feel like if someone plays in my team, that they deserve it. We've had people close. The way Jack Greaves has been training, he probably deserves more minutes than he's getting. He's been fantastic in the training sessions. Messiah Edwards getting on the bench, but like I said, I won't be giving out debuts just for as a charity. They have to be earned, they have to be deserved, and yeah, going back to my point before, if these lads are good enough, they're old enough.
A couple of characteristics that you've shown the last couple of games I want to ask you about. Watford looked like a team that lost belief before you came. Now I know a coach can give tactics and advice, but how do you re-instill that belief into the team?
It's a really good question, to be honest. I think it's a mentality. It's the ability of the squad is never questioned, but sometimes the mentality can sort of, and bad experience in games early on in the season can make you lose that belief and lose sort of vision of where you see yourself as a team. And now I want to rebuild that. I see us competing at the highest level in this league, and I want to sort of start to gather that belief back. But first of all, that starts with hard work, and we've seen plenty of that in the first 5 games.
Another characteristic that you had as a player, pride. How does that come back into the team? Because I felt on Wednesday night there was a real, I don't like badge kissing, but there was real players who were standing up and gritted teeth and clenched fists, which is maybe something we haven't seen earlier in the season. Yeah,
I think it was one of the things I looked at when we came in. Was a team that you could maybe say is winding down or lacking motivation, sitting in mid-table, no fear of going down, no chance of going up. So first of all, I think personal pride plays a big part, and then the work that me and my staff have done, I'd say, has been positive. I think it helps that I was a good teammate to 90% of these lads. I was very respectful, tried doing the best for the team always, and that plays a part, because you can see the lads are working for me, and I am very appreciative of that. But there's a lot of hard work going in behind the scenes on the training pitch, and then I think ultimately personal pride takes over at the end, and these lads have showed plenty of that.
Obviously you're the figurehead, but I'm guessing Damon and Arjun and Jimmy have played a big role in those 2 areas, the belief and the pride.
Yeah, we're very streamlined in what we do, very, very hard working, and the key messages, and we try to reinforce them on a daily basis. You have to be relentless with it, and the first signs of any bad habits coming in, you have to nip in the bud straight away, because they can accelerate. And I'm very experienced in seeing the dynamics of a good dressing room and a bad dressing room. So those any bad habits creeping in, they have to be addressed head on. But they've been minimal in our 5 weeks.